All right. So I wanted to give YouTube a chance to send out any notifications. I'm not sure how many people are going to see this, but make sure you come in, hit the thumbs up for me, and let me know by typing a 7 in the chat if you can hear me. So my camera should be off as usual, and I'm just going to be covering my thoughts and getting people's feelings on the matter. Though I can probably predict what people are going to say. So, in case people don't follow the news, Trump just signed an executive order moving the good from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3. This is tremendous news and a step in the right direction, but I'm going to be making a prediction that most people are not going to like it. I personally do not like it because it falls short of the people's will to see it completely legalized. I think that this executive order is meant to give off the false impression that the Trump administration, not particularly Trump himself, but I think that because he has people behind him that are secretly prohibitionist still and making good money off of prohibition, that he was forced into a predicament in order to keep it illegal. So today I want to actually discuss my own ideas. So far we're 2 minutes in. Nobody's here. I understand there's a lot of people at work still. It's currently 3:13 in the afternoon. I want to discuss my ideas about what I think is happening next. So, as you come in, please please hit the like button. What up to my 5 people who just showed up? Please give me a 7 in the chat if you can hear me. So I just want to make sure that everybody can hear me. I'm sharing some great news with y'all. I hope you'll stick around and have this conversation with me. So please give me a 7 in the chat. Hello, Svetlana. I hope I said that right. Hello. Svetlana, can you give me a 7 in the chat if you can hear me, please? Hello to my 11 people. Thank you so much for showing up. This conversation only lasts as long as people. Thank you so much, Svetlana. Thank you. Everyone else, please give me a 7 in the chat if you can hear me. So we're having a fun conversation today and just really dreaming about where this country is going in 2026. So now that the good plant has been not legalized, but it's not being seen as harshly by the federal government. So what is it that's supposed to happen with Schedule 3 marijuana? Marijuana, as of now, is now moving to Schedule 3, which means that tax deductions and medical research will be allowed. The thing is, we still have a pro-prohibitionist named Terrence Cole who is at the helm of the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Administration, or agency. I think it's called agency or administration. But either way, Terrence Cole is the head of the DEA, and he is completely against legalizing marijuana. So people are saying, that Trump moving it to Schedule 3 doesn't really do anything. And the thing is that I am in that camp somewhat, but people forgot that Trump can just fire Terrence Cole if he wants to. Yeah, you either do the will of the people or you're out. That's the way it's supposed to go. But we've never had full control over our government. But we do have a little gift that is coming in exactly 1 week before Christmas. Or Xmas or Hanukkah. I think Hanukkah already began, so I'm not very educated in that. I didn't see Svetlana. I didn't see your last message. But yeah. Hopefully you're all right. Hopefully everything's all good. Maybe you just spelled something wrong. I don't know, but no big deal, right? We're just having a fun conversation. There's no big deal. We're just chilling. So I'm only trying to be online to discuss potential ideas about where the country goes from here. I deep down believe that the idea to keep it illegal but on schedule. Thank you so much for the thumbs up, whoever did that. That's what I'm talking about. So I personally believe that whoever is behind Trump in the background is pulling the strings on the president to keep it illegal. Why do I say that? Because we had a medical marijuana patient over in Russia, and when he came back, it's not like Trump was like, looking at him with a nasty look. He said, "Welcome home." And you know, if Trump had a very bad view of marijuana, he wouldn't have been trying to push for any of it. He could have even vetoed anyone who tried to bring up marijuana. But Trump knows deep down two things. One, marijuana is a multi-billion-dollar business. Hello, Mr. Jonathan Cat 9730. This is live. We are live right now. I'm just trying to talk to everybody. I just went live 6 minutes ago. So I'm not going to be online for very long. But if people are talking back to me, I'm more than happy to continue the conversation as long as possible. So I'm talking about theories right now as to why I think that it won't just stay Schedule 3 forever. I think that right now Trump's biggest desire is to see federal marijuana legalization for medical only. So one, Trump knows that it's big business. Number two, oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, so it didn't take long, and I'm really excited personally about it, and I have my own reasons for why I think that it's a good thing, and why I think that it won't stay Schedule 3 for long. So you have shareholders who have been clamoring for years for legalization. They don't just want declassification; they want full blown legalization because they don't want the FBI, DEA, and whoever else rating what they're trying to do. They don't want to have people come in with guns and they say everyone step away from your computers. This place is under siege. So Trump knows that it's big business. It is a huge business, and and unlike most things in pharmaceuticals where you have to ditch things and whatnot, you can reuse the ground to grow marijuana over and over again. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is that if you fail once because of some technicality, it's not like you have to go find some new real estate and then dig out, mow the fields down and stuff and start over. All you have to do is rip out the old plants, plant in new ones, and off you go. You're gonna have to wait like 3 months for another growth to be done. I think it takes 3 months for marijuana to grow. So I'm really excited to see this happening because it's going to loosen restrictions federally, which will allow for tax deductions in state legal businesses. So the official stance of the Trump administration now is they are anti-recreational, but they did not say that they were anti-medical, and that's the difference. Trump being pro-medical is a big game changer because now it's another prediction of mine that I made offline to someone that I know, and I said, "Watch, Trump will be anti-recreational." Because right now it costs, I don't know how much it costs in your area, John or Svetlana. Maybe you guys sound off in the chat, but it costs $300 in Pennsylvania if you want a medical marijuana card. That's last time I checked. So Trump wants those doctors to make that money. Like, let's just be honest. When recreational eventually gets legalized, there's going to be some regulation out there along the way that's going to mean that medical will have to be grown in identified medical fields. There's going to be some kind of regulation that says the medical stuff will be stronger than the recreational stuff. So anyone who's growing at home is still committing a felony. But I bet you that the attitude of the Trump administration is something I predicted all along, which is hand the victory over to big marijuana business and anyone else who wants to get in. I bet you part of that number is going to be pharmaceuticals who are going to create synthetic marijuana products, right? As before today, as far as I know, I don't know if this is true or not, but as far as I know, that wasn't possible. Because if they created anything CBD, like one, you're sounding the alarm that pharma doesn't mean jack squat and it always fails. Psst, we always knew that. Pharma has always failed. But you tell people pharma is a failure, and then that's the first issue. And the second issue is that people don't want big pharma messing around with their medicine. But as far as I know, Trump and what's his name, RFK Jr. I think, RFK Jr. definitely wants for pharma to be able to compete. As far as I know, he's anti things that don't include pharmaceuticals. That's what I heard. So, what do you guys think? Is anybody in my chat that wants to sound off right now? What do you guys think about the schedule, the schedule or the rescheduling of marijuana? I think I think that's a great thing because recreational, keeping it illegal, essentially, quote unquote, at least in the eyes of the court, it keeps it out of the hands of children. I think it at least is a step in the right direction. And I think that as president for the next 3 years, I think Trump still has things at his disposal to maneuver pieces around on the metaphorical chessboard to push legalization over the edge. I made a video a while back where I had predicted that Trump had appointed Terrence Cole not because Trump thought that he would. Hold on, I just sound off in the chat. I'm going to stop my thought for a moment. This reminds me of alcohol distillation versus brewing and how companies control the stronger stuff. Yes. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's Mr. Cat right there. That's what I'm talking about. So thank you for sounding off your comment. Now, that's what I'm saying. The victory is always given to two entities, well, three entities. The government always makes sure the government wins. The government always makes sure big business wins, and their investors win. There's no way in hell that retail was about to smoke out hundreds of billions of potential sales tax dollars. It wasn't going to happen. So this is what I was talking about. I personally think I want to know what you think, Svetlana. If you're still here, I want to hear your opinion. And Mr. John, I want to know what do you. I'm going to present to you a theory. You tell me what you think, and I'm going to give you some time to answer. I think Terrence Cole was appointed to take down the grow operations because we had Asian illegals. I think they were called the Hmong people. I think, and those people were lacing state legal markets with fentanyl. And when Terrence Cole first came into power, Terrence Cole was going after fentanyl grows, and that so happened to be where the biggest amount of illegals were concentrated. So, for example, we had something in California where the media was already front running this story, and it was already saying Trump's going after those who are already legal. Now, first of all, since when does media ever tell the truth? That's just keeping it 1,000. So if the media says that they were legal, chances are they were illegal. And they were lacing fentanyl into the marijuana. And that's why if you went to New Kensington, Mr. John, that's why when you go to New Kensington in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, you still see that people who have a tiny, tiny little bit of fentanyl that came out of marijuana, they drop dead in a matter of seconds. They're done. It's over. And because it becomes super concentrated within the pre-roll or something like that. So that's what I think. I think that the goal of Terrence Cole was not to push legalization over the finish line. I think that the idea of Terrence Cole being at the head of the DEA was designed to take care of the fentanyl crisis. But now that the fentanyl crisis is dying down, it seems to be under control. I think now we can have state legal operators where there's no danger of fentanyl. And that means that as a businessman, Trump wants to see the country make the tax money. He wants to make his legacy look good. This is his last chance, right? So that goes back to your comment, John. It says, this reminds me of alcohol distillation versus brewing and how companies control the stronger stuff. Always. And the ones that are going to control all recreational marijuana seeds, I guarantee you they're going to be genetically altered because they don't want people getting a hold of the strong stuff. Because if they get rid of the strong stuff, that officially puts the big brands out of business. So that's pretty much the end of my rant right there. So is there anyone left in my chat who wants to sound off on my opinion? It says they should have like really strict penalties if any fent is found. You telling me, Cat? I'm telling you right now. If I were the one in charge, okay, hold on. You said something else. Well, alcohol distillation has the chance of blowing up. If you grow a stronger plant, there really isn't that danger. Wait, what are you talking about? So, if you grow a stronger plant, there really isn't that danger. Do you mean there's no danger from the plant itself, or no danger from going to jail? You're gonna have to elaborate on that a little bit. And I'll give you a chance. I don't want to go on a huge rant if you're typing, so I'll give you a chance to respond. The reason why distillation is illegal is because it emits alcohol fumes, which can blow stuff up. Fair enough, with the whole conversation about with marijuana. I don't know about the whole alcohol distillation situation. I thought you were just using a quick metaphor. So I would say that the reason why distillation is illegal is because it competes against the big brands. That's if the administration truly cared about us, John, they would just ban alcohol outright, because the alcohol of today is not the same alcohol from 100 years ago. It's way more potent. There's more, you could say, units of alcohol per bottle. Like, it's very strong. So you're not getting the same. You're getting more alcohol per sip, if you know what I mean. I personally don't drink. I don't see the allure of alcohol. I just don't see it. Um, when people go out the bars, I don't understand why people want to put holes in their liver. I don't get it. So what I will say, getting back to the subject of gotta go, man, have a good one. Thank you so much for showing up, John. Thank you so much for clicking that like button. I appreciate you for showing up and chatting with me. I hope we can chop it up again sometime. Deuces. All right, is there anybody left in my chat? Anybody who wants to have this conversation? Again, for people who are watching from the clouds, this is really just a live reaction to Donald Trump signing the executive order to reclassify marijuana. So, if there's anyone left in my chat, sound off. Unless I'm just streaming to myself right now. Svetlana, you still there, or are you? Nope, I just dropped to 0. No big deal. I just like getting online and talking with people. You know, anybody else want to sound off? All right, so I'll stick around to see if anyone else shows up.